I realized that the standards I held for black men were way higher than what I held for other races. And I was making excuses. Like, I was not checking for black men. If a black man tried to talk to me, I would be like, no.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Fair Use. And today, my boys from New York City Daily Wrap-Up Crew, they're killing it right now, and they did an episode called White Men Let Me Explore My Sexuality. So just a brief synopsis about this episode. There is a young lady that is talking about how she used to deny black men, and now all of a sudden she's interested in them. And then there's a response from a lady that's actually at the podcast who is going to agree with her, and it's going to get real interesting. So let's get into the video.
Yo, Arthur, let me get into that first topic real quick.
When I was like mostly focused on dating white men, and people ask me, oh, why don't you date black men? I'm like, black men ain't checking for me.
That's what she told me.
Legit. Like, no, they're not checking for me. And I kind of had to like check myself, because it's like, are they really not checking for you, or are you not checking for them? And to validate your reason for dating outside your race, you just blame it on them. And so once I did like start like focusing, like, okay, let me be open to this, they were checking, and they were really checking. I realized that the standards I held for black men were way higher than what I held for other races. And I literally had to like double down on myself. Like, girl, you tripping. What's the reason behind all of this?
What was the reason?
You feel me? And I think it was just like having a black father who wasn't like the example of the black man I wanted, at least in his marriage with my mother. So for me, it was just like, all right, you gotta be like 10 times in comparison to what I'm settling for with these white men.
Okay, so all of these young ladies are there in the studio, and they're seeing what she just said, and one of them is going to identify exactly with her, which is what we're going to get into right now. So let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna start because that was me, y'all. Just
that
seeing
was? Oh, okay.
A little familiar.
You did look a little.
Okay, yeah. So I was making excuses. My first boyfriend was black. I'm a be real with y'all.
How old was that?
I was 16 to like 17 and a half.
Oh shit, that was her actually in the video. She's right there. Okay.
17 and a half. And then after that, I had a girlfriend. She was black too. What? And then
Two for two.
two for two. I started off strong.
Just starting it up at a young age, huh? Okay.
Strong, And then I feel like once I like ventured out into Manhattan and I got into the hospitality industry, because that's where I work, I just kept on meeting white men who were just like flabbergasted by the way I looked. And I was making excuses. Like, I was not checking for black men. If a black man tried to talk to me, I would be like, no. Like, but also it was the ones like on the street, like,
Bruh.
God.
The excuses. They go to excuses.
Excuses. I was making excuses.
They was homeless or something? Like, yo, like,
Not homeless, but
We got our second
not
boo.
homeless. Wait, what? They were not homeless.
Specify.
They was hugging the block.
They were hugging the block. Exactly.
Is that what you assumed, or that's what you know?
Good question from the brother. He always has good questions. The two brothers, all of them good, but the ones on the ends, they always have the good questions. Did you assume they were hugging the block? You see, again, that's making excuses because of her own confirmation bias about black men. Let's go.
did you see them like?
I mean, I'm from Canarsie, so it's like
Brooklyn!
I even know every face because my family that's just okay. My old cousins, like it's either you know us or you don't or whatever. And the ones I didn't know, they just looked like
You was judging the book by the cover.
I was, and I really I would say in like 2017 after I had my child from a Mexican man, because my child's
Reaction! So, you're over here making black men rise up to a certain standard that you didn't make these white or Mexican men rise up to that standard. You have a child with yourself. With the Mexican dude, you ain't even with this dude no more. But the whole time you was turning down the brothers who could be interested in you. And this is what we're talking about. And I'm so thankful for the Daily Wrap-Up Crew, because when y'all want to know why black men date other ladies. This is not just the only reason, but one of the reasons is that you have sisters based on their bad experiences with their fathers. They have confirmation bias towards African American men or black men that grew up in America. And so what happens is that, a lot of times brothers will try to talk to the sisters that are there in their neighborhood. Maybe they're on the, on the up and up. But then what happens is they get rejected. Then now all of a sudden, once this lady goes out there and have, a baby, it could be by somebody out of the other race or somebody in our race. All of a sudden now it's like, oh shit, I'm open to dating brothers after you become a goddamn single mom.
My child's father is not black either. I was like, hold on, what am I doing? Like, I'm attracted to them. They're attracted to me. They're trying to talk to me and I'm just not giving them the chance. And like I said, I really had to be real with myself and hold myself accountable as to why I wasn't open to dating them. And I've dated a lot of black men since then. But what? Go ahead.
A lot.
All right, Kalamate. I've been very open since then.
Okay.
I have dated white also.
Are you swirling?
With the swirl.
Why do you think that women always come to a realization that they need to change things after they have children? Like, what is it about it?
Great question, brother. Now you're my favorites. Now that was a great question. Why? And I like how the young brothers are doing this. They don't really throw hardball questions at women. They're not trying to embarrass them. Women feel comfortable talking to the young brothers there. I love that question. Why is it that now you want the black men once you go out here and have this baby by another guy of another race? Let's find out.
What is it about?
I would say that was a specific, my intention wasn't like, I have a kid now, let me, blah, blah, blah. It was like, there's this black man who's interested in me and he, you know what I mean? Like, I like what I'm seeing. The conversation's great. He was the example of the black man that I wanted to be with compared to the ones who were trying to talk to me in the past, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't say there was anything to do with my child, honestly, because she is black in my eyes, yes, but her father's not black, so it wasn't that.
But let me kind of get here though, because in the first clip, because that was her, she was saying that if a black man was to talk to her and he was somebody that she wanted to be with, didn't she say that he had to be 10 times better than what the white guy would be? Oh shit. Quasi, play that clip back.
I realized that the standards I held for black men were way higher than what I held for other races. And I'm
Exactly. So it wouldn't have really mattered because that black man would have had to be exceptional in order to deal with her. Now, I do want to give a shout out to a lot of sisters because most sister standards, for certain black men are not as high or expectations as great. I mean, they may say certain things, but there's plenty of opportunities in Black America. If you're not like, let's say, the most high earning guy all the time, but there are some delusional people like her that's gonna make you be like, well, okay, you need to have 10 times this what the white guy has. So the white guy could be damn near working at McDonald's and he can holler, and you could be somebody. You have to be a student at Yale Medical School to get the same kind of attention from her. That's what she's not mentioning here, and that's what she said previously on that first episode. But let's go.
So the guy that you said is the example of what you wanted, that's what made you have the epiphany?
Yeah, I was like, oh, there are black men out there with
Oh my God.
with what I want. Like, I'll be
With the qualities that you want.
Yeah.
There are some good black men out here.
Yeah,
That's what she
they are.
said.
Okay.
That's exactly what it was.
As long as you know.
But I've always had a crush on A$AP
don't
Rocky,
do that.
though.
Don't do that. Like, that man he's innocent until proven guilty. Like, we ain't gonna do that. Like,
That's
Which
what
no, that's
what
she
she
said.
She has that big ass crush.
She had a crush. We love A$AP.
Oh, okay, I got you.
She like, he has no vibe.
We're not doing that.
No, we love him. Stop. We love him.
See, they didn't hear about the
Allegedly, him and Rihanna broke up.
Rihanna, you need me?
It's allegedly.
But we're not going into
Let's not get.
Wait, time out. Rihanna, I'm here. Okay,
I'm here.
She don't on YouTube that often, but you know what?
Maybe, it might pop up in a.
Yeah, so let's get back to this topic. Let's stay on topic real quick. So, Anything y'all want to add to this before I dive into this? Because I need to dive into this. I want to hear what y'all want to say
about dating.
Do you think that people make excuses
100%
to justify dating outside their race? Yeah.
100%.
Okay, why you think that?
Well, I feel like mostly people say things as like, I didn't find what I was looking for here. So I decided to open up my, my circle, which I guess makes sense in, in actuality. Like, obviously, if you're not finding what you want to find, maybe you should be open to, other opportunities.
Right.
I'm sorry, just other options rather. But I do think that it's mostly a lot of women making excuses. Like, I don't want to have to they use the worst, almost stereotypes about Black men as an excuse to why they date outside of their race. And that's what really gets me. Because I grew up around a lot of great Black men. And so that's not my experience. And so when I hear a lot of women talking like that, it really irritates me, to be honest. So that's what I have to say about it. Anybody else?
Okay, this is a lady. I don't know if she's Black, maybe she's Dominican, Puerto Rican or something, but this is interesting because she doesn't have that experience, right? Even me, coming from Del Paso Heights, and my love for the Black community and why I'm able to do what I do in my content space, even though I could do much more broader topics, but I didn't have that experience with Black people as much either. Like I had some of the ghetto stuff going on too, but I did see functional Black men, especially in my church, in my home church community. I saw that with Black women. I went to college and I saw that. So that was my experience. So that I didn't have the confirmation bias that I need to get out of my community to go meet somebody else, or that I need to hate on my people to marry somebody else. But people will lie and say whatever else they say. And somebody like her, who is not even an African, or maybe she has a little bit of Black, she's more pro-Black than the other chick. And guess what? Women like her who are in close proximity to the Black community, they're gonna be snatching up Black men all the time, and they're gonna be treating them better, and they're not gonna come in sometimes being single moms, unlike the first chick who is just as Black as I am and has those issues. But again, shout out to my brothers at Daily Rap Crew. I want y'all to watch the whole entire episode. Let them know that your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson sent them over there. I'm coming out there to New York, man. Listen, I'm getting to Patrick Ewing jersey, and drinks is on me, guys. But they're doing a wonderful job. Shout out to them. And as you know, guys, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.